Hello everyone. In the previous video, we have understood how a contract is formed and what elements are required for a valid contract. And now we come to the very first step of contract formation, which is called an offer. As per section 2A of Indian Contract Act explains what an offer means, and it says that when one person shows his willingness to do something or not to do something with the intention of getting the approval of the other person, it is called an offer. In simple words, an offer means clearly telling the other person what you are ready to do or what you are ready to avoid doing. The person who makes the offer is called the proposer, and this step is very important because without an offer there can be no acceptance, and without acceptance no agreement or no contract can come into existence. For example, if I say to you that I am willing to sell my bike for 50,000 rupees, and I say this because I want you to agree to it, then the statement is an offer made by me. Here I am showing my willingness and I am also expecting your approval. So remember, offer is always the starting point of the contract, and without a valid offer, nothing else can move forward in the contract act. Now, let us understand what makes an offer a valid offer. First of all, there must be a clear expressions of willingness. The person making the offer must clearly show what he wants to do or not to do. If the willingness is not clear, then there is no offer. Second thing, there must be an intention to create legal relations. This intention may not always be spoken, but it is understood from the situation. If the intention is only social or casual, then it is not treated as an offer under the law. Another important point is that the offer must be communicated to the other party. An offer which is not communicated is no offer at all. Section 3 and 4 explains how communication of an offer takes place, which we will study in the next video. Also, the offer must be certain and definite. If the offer is vague or unclear, the law will not treat it as a valid offer. Finally, the offer must be lawful and capable of performance. If the offer is for something illegal or something impossible, then it cannot be a valid offer and it can be void. For example, if I say I will sell you some goods without saying which goods are at what price, the offer is not clear and it is vague. Similarly, if I offer to do something illegal, the law will not recognize it is a valid offer. Now let us look at types of offers. There are some certain types of offers exist under the Indian Contract Act. The first one is express offer. It is an offer made clearly in spoken or written words. For example, if I say to you that I am willing to sell my bike for 50,000 rupees, or I write the same thing in a message, this is an expression offer because my willingness is clearly stated in words. The next one is implied offer. It is not made in words, but it is understood from the conduct or situation. Example for this is when a person goes into a restaurant and sits to eat food. No one says anything, but the restaurant is making an implied offer to serve food. The customer accepts it by ordering and eating. A specific offer is an offer made to a particular person or a fixed group of persons. For example, for this is if I offer to sell my car only to my neighbor, then only my neighbor can accept that offer and no one else. That is a specific offer. The next one is a general offer. It is an offer made to the public at large. Anyone who knows about the offer and perform the required act can accept it. For example, if a company announces a reward for using its product in a particular way, any person who uses it and fulfills the condition accepts the offer by performance. The next one is a floating offer or standing offer. It is an offer which remains open for a continuous period of time. For example, if a supplier agrees to supply cement at a fixed price for 1 year, the offer stays open, and even every time the buyer places an order, the offer is accepted for that order. Let's move on to the next, which is very important exam point of view. That is special types of offer. And the first one is general offer. As we discussed in the previous slide, right? General offer is acceptance is done by performing the conditions of the offer as explained under section 8. For example, if a person announces that he will pay a reward to anyone who finds his lost bag, the person who finds and returns the bag accepts the offer by doing the act. So basically, and in simple, a general offer is an offer made to a public at a large anyone who who knows about the offer and performs the required act can accept it. So here in this example, right, whoever finds his bag and returns the bag, it accepts as a general offer. The next one is a floating offer or standing offer. Acceptance happens only when an order is placed. For example, if a supplier agrees to supply goods at a fixed rate for 6 months, the contract is not formed immediately. Each time the buyer places an order, a separate contract is formed. That is called floating or standing offer. The next one is cross offer happens. And cross offer happens when two parties make exactly the same offer to each other at the same time without knowing about each other's offer. Example for this is if A writes to B offering to sell goods for 10,000 rupees. At the same time, B writes to A offering to buy the same goods for 10,000 rupees. There is no acceptance, only two offers, so no contract is formed. And the next one is counter offer. A counter offer happens when the offeree changed the terms of the original offer. For example, if I offer to sell my phone for 10,000 rupees and you reply that he will buy it for 8,000 rupees, your reply is a counter offer. This counter offer rejects the original offer and no contract formed unless I accept your new offer. To summarize, now let us bring everything together in a simple way. An offer is explained under section 2 of A of the Indian Contract Act, and it is the very first step in forming a contract. An offer must clearly show willingness. It must be made with the intention of getting the other person approval, and it must be properly communicated. It should also be lawful and clear so that there is no confusion about what is being offered. We have also seen that offers can be different types like general offers, floating offers, and other different types of offers. And each type works its own way. If the idea of offer is clear, the next steps becomes easy to understand. So in the next video, we will move ahead and discuss the acceptance, which completes the offer and takes us closer to the contract. Thank you for watching.